The middle distance races are the 800 meter, the 1500 meter, and the 1 mile long runs. These races require different skills and tactics to win. They rely more on endurance and pacing than just pure speed. Also, the runners don't stay in a single lane for the entire race. They start out in staggered lanes to make the distance the same for each runner, but the race soon becomes open with no lanes and the runners must pass around each other to gain the lead. In the 800-meter run, the runners begin from a standing start in staggered lanes. After the first run, however, runners may leave their lanes, at which point competitors dash for their favorite spots at or near the inside lane. Some 800-meter runners enjoy success by leading from the start and maintaining as much of their pace as possible, while others use the first lap to establish a clear spot on the track, then unleash a finishing kick on lap 2. 1500-meter run or mile run is approximately 4 laps around a standard outdoor track. 1500 runs a bit less than 4 full laps, the mile just a touch more. These races are tactical affairs in which the eventual winner generally establishes position in the middle or even the back of the pack in the early laps. The runners begin along a curved line, then almost immediately break out of their lane and move toward the inside of the track. There are 3 main long-distance races, the 3,000 meter, the 5,000 meter, and 10,000 meter races. These races are similar to the middle distance races, but the emphasis is even more on the correct pacing and endurance. The 3,000 meter run is primarily an indoor event. It's part of the World Indoor Championships, but it's also run outdoors. The 3,000 marks the start of the long-distance events, and the 1,500 and the mile are considered middle-distance races. Runners begin on a slightly curved starting line. The curve is greater on the smaller indoor track, but don't run in lanes, so the start is mainly a competition to gain a runner's favorite spot and position on the track. Endurance is supreme at this distance, and above with top speeds reserved from the final lap. In the 5,000 meter run, competitors start on a curved line and can immediately run anywhere on the track, leading to a large initial pack typically stretching 3-4 lanes wide depending on how many runners are racing. While all distance races are tactical events to some degree, competitors at this distance and above are to a large extent running to their own pace most of the way rather than responding to their opponents. Runners must know how fast they can go at different stages of the race to achieve the best possible times. Tactics come to the fore in the final laps as the runners position themselves for the race to the finish. While it's advantageous to run in an inside lane on which a runner travels a shorter distance around the curves, running too far inside can result into a competitor being boxed in by slower runners and not being able to break out at the crucial moment. The 10,000 meter run is the longest track event and it also begins with a curved starting line, but it is run without lanes. Jockeying for a position at the start isn't as important because of the greater distance. As with the 5,000, each competitor must know his or her own pace. Running along an inside lane is less hazardous for premier runners because slower runners will drop off the pace as the longer event progresses, leaving a smaller number of runners jockeying for position in the final laps. Most great long-distance racers rely on a strong finishing kick to win. The marathon run. This is generally a standalone event, but is part of major meets such as the Olympics and the World Championships, where it often starts and ends inside of the stadium. Originally measuring 26 miles 385 yards, runners begin in a pack, but the start is unimportant. Competitors go at their own pace, with the primary goal of many being simply just to finish. Top competitors will race themselves and try to run consistent splits from beginning to end.